Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry by Dr. P.K. Prabhakar. Today we are going to talk about another inborn uterine metabolic disorders, and we will talk about today Gaucher's disease. This Gaucher's disease is a disease which is the abnormality of the uh, defect in the metabolic process of for the cerebrocytes. So we are having different type of cerebrocyte, which is a type of complex lipids. So we'll see how this Gaucher's disease causes and what is its symptoms, sign and symptoms management and other complications also. So this Gaucher disease is caused because of the low level of or the deficiency of one of the specific enzymes which is responsible for the metabolic process of metabolism of glucocerebrocytes. Glucocerebrocyte is a cerebrocytes. Normally, cerebrocyte is composed of sphingosine plus fatty acids, and when this is associated with glucose, it is called as glucocerebrocytes. So this glucocerebrocyte is normally going to be metabolized by a enzyme that is called as beta glucocerebrosidase. This beta glucocerebrosidase is the enzyme which metabolize this one, and if we are having a deficiency of gene which normally this produces this beta glucocerebrosidase, so we will have a disease that is called as Gaucher's disease. This Gaucher's disease is one of the lysosomal storage disease, or means because it is the component we are going to store in the lysosomes. So that's why it is all called as lysosomal storage disease. We will see in the details also. Almost all the lysosomal storage disease, except few diseases, that is Hunter's syndromes and Fabry syndromes, are autosomal recessive disorders. All all the LSD, all the lysosomal storage disease except Hunter's syndrome. Hunter's syndrome is also called as MPS2. MPS2 means it is called as mucopolysaccharidosis type 2. In this case, again we are having mucopolysaccharides which is not going to be metabolized properly. So Hunter syndromes and Fabry syndromes are sex chromosome associated disease. Otherwise, the rest all LSD are means are autosomal recessive disorders. All LSD, if it will not be treated, it is going to be progressive, and the condition is slowly going to be worsen over the time. It will not be managed. It will not be treated. This Gaucher's disease can affect anyone, and roughly its prevalence rate is 1 in 40,000 birth in the general populations. So it is not very frequent, but it is high enough. Now we'll say the how this is going to be pattern, how it is going to be transferred from one generation to other generations through autosomal, because I have told you it is autosomal recessive disorders, autosomal recessive inheritance, because it is lysosomal storage disease, and we have told you all the LSD are autosomal recessive inheritance except two Hunter syndromes and Fabry syndromes. So this is also transferred from one generation to other generation through autosomal recessive pattern only. What do you mean by autosomal recessive patterns is like if both the parent is having minimum one of the allele is infected, means one of the allele is affected. So like here, this in case of mother, one of the allele is affected. This is normal allele. This is the affected allele. In father also, one of the allele is affected. Other one is normal allele. Once they will have a offspring, so there are 25% chances is there that one of the offspring, 25% offspring will get one allele from father and one allele from mother. So this child will have both the alleles for the affected genes. So the genes which is responsible for beta galactosidase enzymes are is affected here, is defective gene we are having in this case. So in this case, because it is an autosomal recessive disorder, so we require both the allele from both the parents. So one allele from father, one allele from mother. So in this case, this child will have Gaucher's disease in the expressed, means disease will be there. Otherwise, when they will have only one allele, like in this case only one allele is there, in this case only one allele is there, so they will be carrier. They will not have any kind of disease, but they can transfer the genes to the next generation. So the disease to be expressed, we require both the alleles from one allele from both the parents. So that is the autosomal recessive inheritance. Now, if you see the biochemistry of Gaucher's diseases, Gaucher's disease is caused because of, I have told you, the defects in the beta galactosidase enzyme. So how that is the defect, beta galactosidase is going to degrade beta galactoside, that means cerebrosides. So we'll see how it is going to happen. So first, sphingosine is going to be associated with fatty acids, so it will give us ceramide. So ceramide is the combination product of sphingosine as a alcohol. This is our alcohol, and fatty acid is a fatty acid. So this alcohol combines with fatty acid will give me a ceramide. This ceramide is going to associate with glucose and ultimately gives us glucocerebroside. This glucocerebrosides normally going to be metabolized. So ultimately, if you see this glucocerebroside is, it is having three components. It is having sphingosine, it is having fatty acids, it is having glucose. So glucocerebroside equal to sphingosine, fatty acid plus glucose. When this glucocerebroside is going to be metabolized, so this glucose is going to be removed, and ultimately we are going to get ceramide. So this metabolic process, this process is going to be takes place by enzyme beta glucocerebrosidase. Now, this is the enzyme which is going to be defected in case of Gaucher's disease. So we are having defective gene for this enzyme. So ultimately, this is not going to be metabolized. So in this case, this glucocerebroside is going to be accumulated in the different organs. Like it will be accumulated in the liver, it can be accumulated in the spleen, it can be accumulated in nervous systems. So this glucocerebroside will not be properly managed, and ultimately this is going to be accumulated in different organs. So we'll have different types of symptoms. So this is the biochemistry of Gaucher's disease. If we'll see the how liver is means how lysosome, why we are going to call lysosomal storage disease. In case of normal cells, normal macrophagic cells, this is the macrophagic cells, and macrophagic cells we are having lysosomes. Lysosomes is normally called as it's called a suicidal bag, or which degrades which phagocytal components and degrades those things, because lysosomes is having acid first, means normally acid hydrolase enzymes. Those enzymes normally degrades all these cellular debris of all these components. So normally it will be phagocytized and it will be degraded. So ultimately lysosomes whose enzymes break down all the other components which will be taken into the cells. This is in case of normal cells. But when we are having a Gaucher's disease, if the component which is taken into the cells, so like one of the component is glucocerebrosidase, because in case of this one, this is the defective cells, and in this case we don't have glucocerebrosidase enzyme. So when a glucocerebroside is inside the cells, and that will not be metabolized because of we don't have this enzyme. So this is not going to be metabolized. So this is going to be stored into the lysosome. So lysosomes is normally swells up. So this is also called as Gaucher's cell. Gaucher's cells is swollen undigested lipids, where cells will have in the lysosomes we are having too much amount of lipid, especially glucocerebroside is going to be accumulated into the lysosomes, and it will be swelled up cells. And in that case, nucleus will be sidelined, it will be near the periphery. That is called as Gaucher cells. So that's because these glucocerebroside or other component is going to be stored into the lysosomes. So that's why we are going to call it lysosomal storage disease. What is the sign and symptom of this Gaucher's disease is, mainly it is going to cause two, three major symptoms which if we are having. First, it is going to cause hepatomegaly and splenomegaly. So together we can call it as hepatosplenomegaly, means both hepatic livers and spleen is going to be enlarged because it will be swelled up. So that is hepatosplenomegaly, or only hepatomegaly and splenomegaly you can call it. Then it will have progressive neurological symptoms. This is only in case of, there are three different variety of Gaucher's disease. We will see that one also. So neurological symptoms will be only going to happen in the specific type of Gaucher's disease. It is not in all the cases, but in a specific type we will have neurological symptoms. Other than these two specific symptoms, we can have thrombocytopenia or anemia, because RBC, because spleen is not going to be functional properly, so it will be affected. And skeletal involvement, bones are going to be porous, it will be degraded, more fragile, and pulmonary involvement will be there. So these are the various different sign and symptoms will be there. If we'll see this Gaucher's disease, depending on the cause, depending on its occurrence, we are having three different types of Gaucher's disease. That is called a type 1, type 2, type 3. Reason, the occurrence, the main etiological factor in all the cases are defect of the beta galactosidase gene. In this case, if you say type 1, which is also called as non-neuropathic Gaucher's disease, means it is going to happen, going to occur in all other cells, but not in the neurons, not in the brains. So this is the most common type of Gaucher's disease. In this case, the patient can recover from it or can be fatal. It can be fatal also. It is going to affect all organs except the brains. There are some of the specific sign and symptoms for this type 1 disease. In this case, splenomegaly will be there, and that will be pain without pain. So no pain will be there. So painless splenomegaly will be there. Anemia is going to happen. Thrombocytopenia will happen in this case, in case of type 1. And chronic fatigue will be there. Hepatomegaly is there. So these are the different types of bone will have pain in the bones. So these are the different sign and symptom for type 1. Splenomegaly, hepatomegaly, anemia, thrombocytopenia, these are type 1's characteristic features. And this is the most common type, and this is going to happen in all other tissue except neurons. So type 2, that is called as acute neuronopathic Gaucher's disease, which is the rarest type. And in this case, normally it kills the patient very fast. It is going to affect almost all the organ. Difference between type 2 and type 3 is type 2 is acute type 3 is chronic type. Type 3 is very rare. Otherwise, both type 2 and type 3 is going to affect almost all the organ, including neurons. And this is the main sign and symptom for this one, type 2 and type 3 is seizures, cross eyes, oculomotor apraxia, then organomegaly, different organ size will be enlarged. Swallowing abnormalities means people cannot eat anything, cannot swallow anything, and hepatic and spleen is also going to be enlarged. Other than this one, because of nervous systems abnormality, we are having seizures mainly. So these are the different types of Gaucher's disease, which is caused because of same enzyme defect, but depending on how commonly it is going to happen and how what are the causes, it is going to have three types, type 1, type 2, type 3. Now, how to diagnose this Gaucher's disease? There are three important type of diagnosis we can go by which we can diagnose this Gaucher's disease. First, we can go and measure the glucocerebrosidase beta, especially beta glucocerebrosidase activities in the peripheral blood leukocytes. And if less than 50% of the mean normal activity is there, it means we are having Gaucher's disease. So we will measure the actual amount of enzymes activity, and that is beta glucocerebrosidase. Second, we can go for the minor. There will be the different type of, because we have seen in all the three cases, type 1, type 2, type 3, hepatomegaly, splenomegaly is there. So mainly we can go for measurement of liver marker enzymes or angiotensin converting enzymes level. So there will be elevation in these two enzymes, liver marker enzymes and angiotensinogen converting enzymes. So this enzyme also can be evaluated. And third, we can go for DNA analysis, gene analysis, where we can find out the two mutant allele, especially for the in the diagnostic panels. So because where disease will be there, so they will have two mutant from both from one parent and both from each parents. So these are the three different diagnostic parameters we can have by which we can measure. We can see we have Gaucher's disease. This is the most confirmatory test, and these two will give you some kind of hints. Now, how to manage this Gaucher's disease is there is a enzyme replacement therapy because we are unable to produce glucocerebrosidase enzyme. So, in this case, we have to supply those beta glucosidase enzymes from the outside. So that is called as enzyme replacement theory. It replaces the deficiency of the enzymes with the artificial units from outside, from external side. We will provide the actual enzyme so that the function of enzymes will be performed in the body. Second, there are other medicines are there like miglustat, that is sold with the name of Javasca, which inhibits the enzymes glucosylceramide synthase. This is the glucosylceramide synthase is the enzymes which normally synthesizes glucocerebroside. So if we have seen in the previous steps where ceramide is going to convert associated with glucose and gives us glucocerebroside. Cerebroside. So this step is going to be catalyzed by glucosyl ceramide synthase. This medicine, Miglustat or Jevesca, which is sold, this is the market name. This is the common name, generic name. So this medicines is going to inhibit this process, this step. So ultimately, glucocerebroside is not going to be synthesized in our body. When we don't have synthesis of this one, so ultimately level of glucocerebroside is not going to be accumulated. Even we don't have those glucosidase enzyme. So we don't have this metabolic enzymes, but because we are not going to synthesize glucoside, so ultimately it is not going to affect and it is not going to accumulate the level of glucocerebroside in our liver or in spleen or in brains. There are some other another medicine is there, that is iliglustat, that is also sold with the name of Cardelga. This is also going to inhibit the same enzyme, so glucosyl ceramide synthase. So both this medicines and this medicine is going to inhibit the synthesis of glucose glucocerebroside. So we don't have synthesis. Other than this one, sometimes some of the medicines related to osteoporosis is also given, because in this case we have seen bones is going to be weaker. So we can give some medicines for osteoporosis, which normally we take for osteoporosis treatment, osteoporosis management, that will help to rebuild the bone which is weakened in the Gaucher's disease. So this is how normally we can manage it. Among this one, this is the most common, where we are going to supplying enzymes, so that either we are going to produce the glucocerebrosides, or we have previous one, it will be metabolized. In these two cases, it is not going to able to make them glucocerebroside synthesis. So this is all about the Gaucher's disease. Hope you have understand it. If you have any query, any comments, you can write in the comment box. If you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.